been in the industry for about 11 years. And, I created the broker training program course, if you will, a few years ago and just kept on adding to it and the benefits and so forth. And I've now have a MCI underwriting course, another one out there as well for kind of business development in the funding for funding companies. So the course offers the full, beginning to end of becoming a business loan broker and essentially the options to scale it. So everyone has their own plan. So it's a matter of what you actually want to accomplish. But just for even doing a 1 to 2 person shop, you can do that with very limited amount of capital. But we go through what you need to do in order to be successful, and that's just the two biggest things are leads and staff, right? So if you plan to make it a real business with staff, how do you do that? And then leads, how do you get them? How do you make a consistent pipeline? Um, so from the very basics of forming an entity, what entity you actually need, two business partners can be different than a solo or different than, five people, all the way through, the marketing sales toolkit we provide with scripts and for email and phone, even social media, and obviously connecting with funders and lenders of all sorts. So over, on the site, on my site, there's, hundreds of lenders and funding companies. Now, I have personal relationships with uh, dozens, but I narrow it down to the ones I know best and that are accepting of new brokers, right? You can't just get signed on as a brand new broker with anyone. So you have to know who and where to go. So we do that with different types of loan products. So whether it be an SBA lender, line of credit, term loan, an MCA, or revenue-based financing, to equipment finance, or a couple of others, like different lease back on equipment finance or specialty niches for higher dollar amounts. So that's a huge value in what we offer. And then going through everything else, some underwriting aspects, the documents that you need to collect, how to process a file, how to submit a file, what to look, how to view things from the lender's perspective, and how they keep track of your performance and how to stay, above board with them on their good side, right? Everyone has to have a win-win relationship. You fund deals, they get them funded, they perform, you get renewals, and that's part of the name of the game is renewals. How do you get consistent clients over the long term where you barely have to lift a finger for them to just renew deals, right? And that applies for different loan products versus others, right? It's not just as simple for an SBA loan to renewal compared to a line of credit or a MCA. And then, yeah, I mean, basically, once you're done with the course and you're ready to get the introductions, we do warm introductions to all the lenders. You have to have certain things in place before I would do that. And that way they know you're for real and you're ready to get set up and you're not, 5 months out from actually accepting deals. There's a lot of in between there, right? As far as topics. I mean, on the course page, if you saw it, there is the list of modules, right? So you see, the topics of discussion for each one. Okay, so here's the modules: how to set up the business, the different ones in there, and page. But the loan products, we go over different ones to offer, different types of lenders who offer those loan products. How do you find deals? How do you package them up to get them submitted? And then basically, how do you close them? What you can expect as far as even timeline on doing your first deal, to how you can maximize your revenue meaning your commission. So here, I get you set up with people when you submit deals, you're in control, right? You control the whole commission. Funder Intel is off of this. We don't get anything from you. We're not involved in the deal. You don't call me and be like, hey, I submitted this deal. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
Coaching would be, yes, then we would schedule a time, and that's formally, we could talk about anything. But we're not in it for the deals. We're not collecting any commission off your deals. We have nothing to do with your deals. You get signed up with them separately with your entity. You connect with the lender, and then they tell you basically how to submit a package. Each one is different, a little bit different anyway, because some are more advanced, and it depends on the broker and how advanced they are with their software platform.
Everyone works off of their platform, not within your platform. They're just there
Correct.
to It's basically like a database, a big database of
Uh,
people.
well, yeah, I mean, I'm the providing you the education to get it all done, to create a business, and then connect you with everyone you need to up front, even software people, right? So if you don't know, whether you need or want to use HubSpot or Salesforce, I guide you through that. And then I have connections at different companies that are more specific to different loan products and how the software works, and all the way through. So you'll have a ready to go business. It's a matter of how you go about doing it, what you want to accomplish in the long term, um, and building it. And so everything's based on individual performance. But again, 11 years in the business. I've worked for a broker from like the cold calling, like getting on the dialer, initial stuff to having my own broker company. And I still do deals here and there. It's not my focus. So I'm still in it, and I still see these people at different conferences, and they come to my events. And so the relationships I built are, they're individual. So you can't get that necessarily anywhere. Other people have different relationships, but I cover all the products. So I do have the lenders for basically any type of deal that you would have a client need. I mean, even venture capital and private equity.